So this is one way of the transliteration. Jazakallah khair. Yes.
So it will be 3A or just 3L?
No, 3 and then A.
3A.
Yes. Because A is that sound for A, but because it is not the Hamza, you want to make it differentiate between from the Hamza, then you put number 3 to produce the sound of Ain. Is it clear? Yes.
How would you write the number 6 in like Britannia?
Yes, Britannia.
How would you write it?
Okay. You will write the letter T. Now if you are using the number, then you are not bothered with using the uppercase. You can use the lowercase t, but put number 6 over here. So number 6 over here is representing this letter Ta. Okay. However, in this book, they did not use the number system for the transliteration. I would like to bring it back to the same method. You know, capital letters, the uppercase letters for the heavy sounds, for the thick letters, and this small case or the lower case is for the thin letters. So I think we should not make ourselves also confused. We will adopt this method that has been used in the book.
How will you do ha and ha?
Okay. For the letter ha, we have number 7.
Yeah, but in this book, how will they use it?
Okay. In this book, for the ha, they have used capital H for this ha, and for the other ha, they use the small case of it. Yes. And we are going right now for that. Okay. Maybe you would like to read that next paragraph.
Drill number 1?
No, this the transliteration system used. We are on page number 11, the second paragraph. After these numbers.
The transliteration system used in these materials is shown in the following charts. We developed this system to be simple, and the main difference between it and other systems is that it uses uppercase letters rather than dots and symbols to represent emphatic sounds. And we use doubled vowel A, E, I, O, and U to represent long vowels. Listen to the pronunciation of letters on the alphabet video again as you go through the consonant sound in the first chart below.
Okay. So for this emphatic and non-emphatic, heavy sound and non-heavy, any soft sound, you will see in this book capital letter or uppercase or lowercase. Also for the long vowels and the short vowels, if you wanna represent alif, for this alif you will see AA. Remember the duration last Sunday we talked about. You will raise your finger 2 times, 2 seconds. And if you wanna represent the fatha, that is a short vowel, then you will see only single A. Short vowels in Arabic, they have the same duration as we do in English short vowels, A, E, I or O. But the long ones, they have double. For alif you have 2 A's, for waw you have 2 O's or 2 U's, and for E, for ya, you have 2 E's or 2 I's. So now look at this chart, and we have the letter ba. So ba is very simple. It's just like the letter B in English. So if you are writing ba in English, it will be just like B as in boy or B as in bat. The letter ta, it has T small case, lower case as in the word tip. However, do not be confused with the letter T sound, because ta is not like T. They are just giving you some closeness with the word tip.
Tip.
Yes. When you come to the letter tha, So it's a th, but as in free, or think, or thank you. When you go to the letter Jim, now pay attention to this letter Jim. The formal Arabic, the classical Arabic, and still most of the countries, Arab countries, Bedouin and all the Gulf, all the Levantine, like Eastern Arab, they pronounce Jim as J in letter J in English, as J is in Jack. However, only Egyptians, they pronounce Jim as G as in the word game or goat, right? Like hard G. So Jamal will be Gamal, Jamil will be Gamil. Yes.
So when they write it in English, they'll probably write it
With G.
G, right?
With G sound, yes. But just keep in mind about this Egyptian dialect, otherwise Jim sound is like J. Now go to the letter Ha. It's a raspy, breathy H. Ha. Ha. It's way more than the H sound in English. It's not ha. Ha. And when they will go for detailed introduction of this letter Ha in this book, then they will also suggest you to do some exercises of your muscles in your throat. Okay. Then we have the letter Kha. So this is KH sound, and like a German or Hebrew, CH. So as the same way the German people, they pronounce their CH sound, it's the same as Kha in Arabic. Then we have the letter Dal, and it is a thin letter. Is in contrast of Dad. Dad is heavy letter, Dal is thin letter. So you will make a smiley face for Dal. Yes. And you will pronounce it as like in the name Dawood, for example. And it will be represented by lowercase of d. And just to give you a closeness, they say that like letter D in the word dip. But dip, this D sound is not the Arabic Dal sound. Okay, then we have the letter Dal. So it is again, it's a DH, and it will be pronounced TH sound in the word other or that we already have written over here. Okay. So it will be represented by DH, but will be pronounced like TH in that. Then we have the letter Ra, and it will be like Spanish or Italian R. Ra, that sound. Then we have the letter Za. Za is very simple. First of all, the quality wise, Za is a thin letter, and in the pronunciation just like Z, the letter Z in English. As we have Z's in zebra, the same sound of Z. And I give you the example of easy, or like television, pleasure, in all those words that we have the sound.
The sound is also a thin letter.
Yes.
Zal is thin letter.
Yeah, this is a thin letter. Yes. Zal is also thin letter, yes. And then we have the letter Seen. Seen as in sip or Sam. And Seen is also thin letter. It has a contrast with the letter Sod. Sod is an emphatic heavy letter, but Seen is a thin letter. Okay. And we already spoke about that as this sound Seen in Arabic words for the Z sound we will not use the Seen. We will use Za, the letter Za for that. Then the next letter is Sheen. Sheen is SH, like in the word shoe, we say shoes. So the same sound of shoe or she. Then we have the letter Sad. It is an emphatic letter and it will be represented in the transliteration with capital S, with the uppercase S. And you can understand from the English point of view, like when we speak the word subtle. So it is, we are making little bit sound of Sad. And then we have the letter Dad. So Dad is emphatic letter and it will be represented by the capital D. So it is in contrast of Dal. Dal as in Dawood is totally different from the letter Dad. And remember that for Dal we have lowercase d, for Dad we have uppercase d. So if you have seen written this D or D, so think that this capital D is for Dad and this small d is for the letter Dal. Then we have the letter Ta. So Ta is also emphatic letter and we have an example of the word Britannia over there. So it is contrasting with the letter Ta. So Ta will be represented by lowercase t and Ta with the capital case of T. Then we have the letter Dha. It is also emphatic DH sound close to TH in die. So it is capital DH. Dha. 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 Yes. Like we have al-ghayḍ, the word ghayḍ in Arabic. Al-kadhimin al-ghayḍa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. So the word kadhim and ghayḍ, it is with the letter dha. Also we have a country in UAE that is called Abu Dhabi. And this is the reason that when people they say in English, they say Abu Dhabi with a DH, because the letter Dha is represented by DH sound. So in English you say Abu Dhabi, but actually in Arabic name or the original name or actual name is Dhabi. Yes. Does anyone know the meaning of Dhabi? Okay, you know Ghazal, right? Or Ghazal, the deer, animal. Same meaning of deer in Arabic. We have two words, one is Ghazal and one is Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi literally means the father of the deer. There must be some person, they have the name, the whole country after the name of that person. So the literal meaning, Abu Dhabi is the father of deer. Yes. Okay. Then we have the letter Ain, a sound produced deep in the throat. Yes, Ain is a guttural letter. And it's very peculiar and very special to Arabic. And we need a practice of this letter Ain. So you will see that this sound Ain will be represented in this book with small c as I have written over here. But the other way is also to represent the sound with the letter 3. So keep both in your mind. Then the letter Ghain, this is GH like French or Hebrew R. They pronounce their R the same way as Arabic Ghain. Okay, next page, page number 12. The letter Fa is easy, like F in English, as F is in fun. Then we have Qaf. It is like K but deeper in the throat. And Alhamdulillah, when we read the Quran, when we learn the Quran, so we practice this letter, how to pronounce it. So Qaf, it should be pronounced from the back of your tongue, and that fleshy lobe that we have, that like a pendant. So hit your sound over there and pronounce it. Qaf. Qaf. So this is more deeper in the throat. Then we have Kaf. Kaf is easy like K, the letter K, just like K in keep. Then we have Lam like Spanish or Italian L. Then Mim as in met, Noon as in neat, Ha as in aha. Say aha. So in the saying ah, ha, that sound ha. Or the other example is the word house. Say house. So you have ha sound in the beginning of the house. This is the Arabic ha sound. It should not be confused with the other ha. And then we have wow as in wow, exclamation. Yes, or the letter wow itself. And then we have ya as in yes. So ya sound is just like y is in yes. And then we have hamza. Okay, for hamza we do not have any letter in English. It's a glottal stop. We have the sound though in English and in other languages, but we do not have any letter to represent this sound. It's a sound when you are stopping and you are making the sound. Like in English you are saying ooh ah, ooh ah. So the beginning sound ooh and ah, that is the sound of glottal stop. So you have the sound in English, but you do not have any letter to represent it. Again, the richness of Arabic, that Arabic is giving you a letter, the whole, separate marker or symbol for that, for this stop or for this sound, hamza. And later on we will discuss that what is the difference between alif and hamza. I don't know that you paid attention when you were writing your homework of the Arabic alphabet that hamza was not there. Right? Hamza was not there. However, when you read the basic book for learning the Quran, like Nuraniya or any other preliminary book, you see in the alphabet chart that there is alif in the beginning, but also hamza in the last line, right? After wow. So the discussion will come in its place that what is the difference between alif and hamza. And actually these are not two letters. They are the same letters, but they have two different names. Alif has two names. One name of alif is alif and the other name of alif is hamza. And the alif has two functions. One is as the consonant and one is as the vowel. So when alif is the vowel, it is called alif. When it is a consonant, that is called hamza. That is the difference. Otherwise the same letter. Okay. Now we have some countries' name on the other page, page number 13, drill number 2. So there is a reading in the transliteration, and because it says in class, so we can go quickly, but you will find all these names on the DVD. I was listening today, and you also can listen again. So these are 21 countries' name over here. Now, America, it is Arabic name for America. When you are writing America in Arabic, we will not write America. That will be totally different spelling. Now we are writing from the Arabic way. So from Arabic way it will be America. Yes. So Amerika. Okay? Because if you write America in Arabic, it will be something like that. So we have ya as a long vowel and it will be represented by two eyes over here. Rika.
So why they are giving importance to countries, I mean all these countries?
No, there is no point of the importance, it's just the example. Because now they will give you a task to transliterate other countries' names also. Okay? So this way we are learning how to transliterate the names. So one is America, second is Faransa. Okay, what is the country Faransa?
France.
France. Second, Al-Kuwait. You all know Al-Kuwait. Number, okay, then Sudan. Actually, we should write from left to right. Yes. One is America, then second to Afghanistan. Third is Lebanon. Lebanon, same as Lebanon in English, but in Arabic we say Lebanon. And the fourth is Faransa. Fifth is As-Saudiya. Now pay attention to the symbol C over there. After S, S, then dash SA, and then this C. What is representing over here? Ain. Yes. So when you have the symbol, you pronounce it as Saudiya, not Saudiya. If we say Sau, it will become Hamza. Right? Saudiya. Then sixth one is, read it. Al-Yaban. What is this country? Japan. Okay. You say Sayyarati Yabaniya. Sayyarati Yabaniya. My car is Japanese. Okay. Sayyarati Yabaniya. So Yaban is Japan. Number 7, Al-Kuwait. Number 8 is Tunis. And what is in English? Tunisia. So Tunisia in English and in Arabic is Tunis. Yes. Number 9 is Russia. Russia. So Russia. And number 10 is Sudan. That is Sudan. 11 Britania. With Ta, yes. And number 12 Al-Iraq. See this symbol again? For Ain. Al-Iraq. American people, they are not familiar with this symbol. That's why they do not pronounce Iraq properly.
Iraq.
Yes, Iraq. Yes.